What's up guys, Joe here, welcome back to my channel, and today we're back with stage 16 of the Giro d'Italia, and today we have potentially the queen stage of the race. Over 5,500 meters of climbing and some iconic climbs: the Passo Fadaya, the Passo Pordoi and the Passo Giao. This is going to be incredible. Away we go then, and I think it's going to be pretty crucial here to try and get as many riders up the road as possible. So let's try and attack with Kucala and Bessiol, at least maybe some other riders later on as well. So the breakaway have gone. It is up to the Ineos Grenadiers, of course, with Bernal in the Maglia, Rosa, and 26 riders are up the road here. We have the likes of Tia Volta, Gebrek Zabia is here, Cepeda, Pello, as well as Peter Seri. I also know Grosschartner is here alongside Remy Cavagna, also Joao Almeida, so a very strong breakaway currently up the roads. But well, it has to be said, this climb hasn't quite gone to plan because guys are up the road. We have Almeida, Pozzo, the strongest climbers from that breakaway, and we are all dropped. Guerrero is dropped. We have Lefay here with Bessiol, Neerlands in this group as well. And then even further back to our other riders, Kucala and Vandenberg. So we don't really have a massive advantage currently in this breakaway. So no tempo really in the peloton right now. Hugh Carthy being looked after pretty well by TJ Van Garderen. We have Tesfacion with Vandenberg and Kucala kind of in between the breakaway and the peloton. Guerrero and Bessiol, they're still here up the road, but they're not going to win the stage. They're here purely as satellite riders to drop back and help out Hugh Carthy later in the stage. And a crucial section now to this stage is this intermediate sprint, because Bessiol can roll across in first position. No one should challenge Alberto Bessiol for these points. There you go. And Bessiol should now be in the provisional lead of the Maglia Ciclamino. Great stuff. So I did just drag Julius Vandenberg back into this group. Kucala is done though. He can wait for the peloton right now, and more points coming up right here for Bessiol. So the Passo Fadaya begins. This is where the stage really begins as well, and this climb is so steep towards its peak. We need to be very careful. Bessiol and Guerrero both going to really struggle. And up in the breakaway, look how steep this is, up to 12%, and it doesn't really resist until the top either. And yeah, like I said, Bessiol is going to get dropped here. Probably he'll have to wait for the peloton, I think. And oh my, we're witnessing an infernal rhythm in the peloton here. Really quick tempo, and all our domestiques are really struggling. Look at this. Even Carthy is really feeling this effort. And at the front over the top there was Joao Almeida and Tia Volta, two of the strongest riders, it seems, from this breakaway. And you can just see how far behind we are with Ruben Guerrero and Bessiol, almost caught now by the peloton. And that rhythm means we only have 60 riders left in the peloton. Simon Carr is delivering water, and only 3 riders left to support Hugh. But of course, that is why we have Alberto Bessiol and Ruben Guerrero up the road to drop back and hopefully help him even on the Passo Giao. So Simon Carr pulls over, and we do have riders in the breakaway, of course, but I am now putting the pressure on our rivals here. Caicedo is relaying at 80 on the front, trying to see if we can maybe put some domestiques of the other teams in some difficulty. And obviously, Egan Bernal is in the Maglia Rosa. We need to do something rather than take him to the final climb here to try and push him out of this jersey, because if we just go to the bottom of the Giao with Egan Bernal, he is going to destroy us. And this will be timed quite nicely, because as soon as Caicedo is done, Carthy can hop straight into the wheel of Alberto Bessiol. We don't have too long to go, and I wonder how much Bessiol can hold on for here. So you know what, guys? I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. Alberto Bessiol is now done, and Hugh Carthy launches an attack. We have lots of domestiques still here for plenty of other teams, and we can't really get away with Hugh Carthy. Maida is following for now. Can we try and kick again with Carthy? These guys, their domestiques are just too strong for us right now, and we cannot really go clear. But Ruben Guerrero is just up the road, and we can now get in the Portuguese man's wheel. But still, 30 riders are in this group, but the likes of Narvaez are now done. So 1k to go to the top of this climb. We have now really played our cards, and you can see many domestiques are now getting dropped, as you would expect, as we would hope, as Ruben Guerrero is now really struggling to the top of this climb, and still 24 riders are in this peloton, and we haven't really dropped any major domestiques, I don't think. And I have checked the top of the GC, guys. All of the top 10 are still here. It's Rudy Millard, the best placed in the GC, who is up the road in the breakaway actually, so no one really been dropped so far from the GC contenders. And by the way, at the head of the race, it's Tia Volta and Joao Almeida 4 minutes ahead of the next rider on the road. They are definitely going to contest the stage win. So it's crunch time, guys. The Paso Giro does begin with 30 riders now in the main group. I'm trying to make my way to the front of the group, but we're blocked off pretty heavily right there. Let's go up straight to maybe 85, 84 with Carthy. We need to move up here as it's Bookman and Dan Martin, very aggressive. Next to attack is Mark Soler then, and we don't really need to do this chasing as TJ is the next to fall. So I'm going to drop this to maybe 55, just maintain. We'll see if anyone else does come to the front, and they do. It's Trek Segafredo, but we need to make Ineos do the chasing, I'm sure of it. So Solari's 8 minutes down in GC, but Bookman and Dan Martin, yeah, they're not really dangerous either. Now Ruben Guerrero is now done for the day. So we tried to put some riders up the road, but now Hugh Carthy, 7k to go, is left alone. So Trek Segafredo are really pacing quite aggressively. Still 5.5k to go in this very, very difficult climb. It's really difficult now to move up without really trying to sprint to the front of the group. We're doing okay though, still 5k to go. We need to be very careful with our effort as Giulio Ciccone is the next man to attack, it seems. Egan Bernal, he wants to follow in the Maglia Rosa, and Hugh Carthy, we're going to stay at a very steady rhythm here. Very steady indeed, as Egan Bernal, the Maglia Rosa, on the attack on the Paso Giro. Only Volta and Almeida left out front, and Egan Bernal doing his best to win the Giro d'Italia today. But Carthy is resisting well, still 2.5k to go. We have Martin, Ciccone and Bookman just up the road. Very strong. Bahrain victorious with Landa still in their team here. 9 riders are left in this group. Everyone else, Vlasov has been dropped already. Still 2k to go to the top of this climb. Caruso, he is done. Bardet, Bookman, Yates is sprinting ahead of us. Carthy, we still have 2k to go in this climb. Bernal has been caught, but there he goes again. Hugh Carthy needs to continue pressing on, but 1k to go. Can we catch Egan Bernal? I'm really not sure. And can we drop any of our rivals right here? Let's try with Carthy down to maybe 68. Landa, Bardet, they're just getting dropped a little bit, but Bernal is just too far ahead. So it's a really good effort by big Hugh Carthy. We've got Martin and Yates with us. Bilbao, Bardet and Landa have been dropped. Everyone else has been dropped as well. Almeida has been dropped by a Tia Volta. My oh my, what a turn up for the books that is. We can probably go 99 to the line right here. I'm pretty sure of that. And hopefully we can keep Landa behind, because obviously he is ahead of us in the GC, but he's a much better descender. So that is going to be much more difficult said than done as we scroll further back in the group. The big loser, probably Alexander Vlasov. So we do have this little peak just slightly uphill halfway down the descent, and we can try and use this here with Hugh Carthy and try and create some gaps, because obviously not a descent, and maybe we can do that. Bilbao and Ciccone just off the back right now. Dan Martin, surely we can drop Dan Martin. No, he's pretty much as capable as Hugh Carthy. So up the road, finishing in the ski resorts of Cortina, Dan Pezzo. It is going to be a Tia Volta winning the stage today. What a ride by the Hungarian. Guillaume's shout actually on the Ascent Cycling podcast ahead of my shout, Joao Almeida. Crazy to see right there, and it will be Egan Bernal, I think, gaining time on everyone else in the GC. We'll try and sprint for the line with Hugh Carthy up this little kicker, but Egan Bernal looks unstoppable right now at the Giro d'Italia. Hugh Carthy, he finishes in the group just behind alongside Landa, so we stay in third in the GC, and we cannot make a dent in Egan Bernal's chase for the Maglia Rosa. Bookman is next, then we have Soler, Nibali and Almeida, and like I said, Alex Vlasov, a massive loser today. He has really struggled at this Giro. Bauke Mollema, he was P5 in the GC, not anymore. Wow, what a stage that was. I really tried, guys, to make it exciting and light it up early in the stage, as I hope some teams try to do in the real life stage as well. But Tia Volta takes on Joao Almeida, two 22-year-olds from the breakaway. Great to see Almeida and Volta duking it out in the breakaway, but Egan Bernal gains more time in the GC right now. We finish alongside really the next best. A decent performance, you have to say, for Carthy on a day with lots of descents, which doesn't particularly suit his skill set. So we can't be too disheartened with that. And if we take a look at the GC, Mollema, of course, Vlasov dropping lots of time. And really it's a top 5 now, really forming Egan Bernal, Mikel Landa, Hugh Carthy, Simon Yates in 4th place, and Roman Barze of Team DSM is hanging around in the top 5. But Bettiol into the Chiclamino jersey, things you love to see. We'll see that in the next episode. And Natia Volta and Joao Almeida really are duking it out as well for that Maglia at Zura 2, whilst Bahrain victorious in the Movistar classification. And it doesn't slow down, because following the final rest day we have the Sega Diala, and I know this climb is absurdly steep. This is going to be a spectacular stage, and this suits Hugh Carthy down to a T. So let's attack Egan Bernal again. We have to try, and we have to go after that Maglia Rosa. So if you're looking forward to that, make sure you smash that like button, drop a sub on the channel as well if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.